Hello guys, in this video we'll discuss about draw toolbar. This is the draw toolbar. How to add this toolbar is shown in the previous video. In the draw toolbar we have different icons visible here. If you move your mouse near them, the names of them will be popping out. The first one is called line, the second one is construction line, third one is polyline, fourth one is polygon, fifth one is rectangle, sixth one is arc, seventh one is circle, eighth one is revision cloud, ninth one is spline, 10th one is ellipse, 11th one is elliptical arc. So these are the things which are used to draw those things like line or polyline or construction line. These are the things which can be drawn by using those commands. Supposingly we are talking about a line command, so you can directly click on this and see it here. Or else instead of this we can also do one thing, that is we can press L, enter. It also shows the line command. As you can see in the command line, you can see line specify first point. So that means the shortcut for the line command is L, enter. It can be done by using keypad. Also you can type LINE, enter, which is the same. Or else you can directly take your mouse and click on his point here like this, line. When you click it, they will be showing specify first point. So it is asking us to give the first point. So supposingly I will give a point somewhere on the screen like this here. Then when you move your mouse up and down or something, then it is showing two parts. First thing is distance, something like 559.99 is shown here, and the second one is angle. It is showing 28 degrees. So that means it is giving magnitude and angle. So if you want to draw a line, something like a horizontal line, means what? 0 degrees. Therefore we will keep the angle as 0, and after keeping angle as 0 we can give something like 10 mm. So 10, enter. Therefore we have a line which is finished with 10 mm. It is very small. You can see here very small. I can increase it. How to increase it? I'll show it to you. By using the mouse wheel, if you keep your mouse here and just rotate your mouse wheel, then it is increasing gradually. You can see the increasing can be seen. So the enlargement can be done like that. So this is how you draw a straight line. Once the line is finished, that means after some point to another point we have drawn, then it is not exiting the command. It is still asking what type of another next point. So that means that it want to draw, by taking this as the base, it want to draw the new line. So if I want to draw something like with 45 degrees and 10 mm, so 10, then if I want to go to the second option, then I have to press tab, then there 45, angle is also giving now here %. So this is the second line which is on with the 10 mm and 45 degrees. Then we can go like this, again 10, and tab, 0 means it will go this side. So 180 if I give, it will come this side. So 180, this side it has come. Then I can close it coming here, or else I can directly press C, enter, which is shown here. You can see in the command prompt is there close and undo, in which in the close we have C capital and the undo we have U capital. So just you can press C and press enter. Therefore the diagram is closed here, and you can see this is the first line, this is the second line, this is the third line, and this is the fourth line. So 4 individual lines are drawn here, and you can see blue color dots which are highlighted when you are clicking on them. These are called as endpoints. These are called as endpoints. So these endpoints can be used to move or locate those things or extend sometimes in this way. So if you want to extend this, we can just drag it like this we can drag it, or else we can just keep it and move it here. So that means these are basically used for holding the items. It may be line or circle or anything. For holding that it will be used. So even midpoint is there, and from there to here I am moving it. In that way I can move the point wherever I want, like that. And whenever I am giving here, whenever I am moving here, there is a square box appearing at that point, and it is showing that it is an end point, and it is showing that it is an end point. So how do you get that as those end points? How do you find them to be on your screen? This is what very much important to us. So let us see how do you get it. So for getting those points, what you will do is that you come to here in the bottom, you can see O snap, also called as object snap. You keep your mouse pointer there and right click it and go to the settings. Then drafting settings option will be obtained to you, in which you can see endpoint, which is highlighted with box, midpoint is highlighted with triangle, center is highlighted with 0. In that way these are the highlighting points which will be updated. So now see that these are all in on condition for your 2D diagrams if you want to draw. And if you want to only get endpoints, then just click on the endpoint and remaining all you keep it off. But if you want to use it only for 2D diagrams, you can keep all these, select all these things and press OK, and you can see. Then as you can see, if I am moving the mouse pointer a little bit to the center, there you can see that the midpoint is highlighted, right? So in that way we can have the connector points or the ending points or those O snap settings can be done. So O snaps, right click, settings, and you can keep these all settings. So those can be on. So while drawing, you also keep one thing, that you see that you have all these OSNAP, OTRAC, DUCS, dynamic, LWT and model all are in on condition. LWT is basically line weight. I'll show you how to give the line weight in the properties toolbar when you're discussing about the properties toolbar. Then ortho and polar, let us discuss it now. So ortho and polar means, ortho means basically it is 90 degrees. So if you want to draw a line, so we'll click on this draw line button. Then we'll select a specific first point, and if you want to draw straight lines, that is 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, in that way if you want to draw straight lines, then what we'll do is that you can see that mouse pointer is rotating which angle I want. Now what I'll do is that I'll press on the ortho button. So now you can see whenever I'm moving the mouse pointer, it is only going with the ortho option, that is 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees and 270 degrees. That's it. So that means if you are keeping ortho button on here, or then what happens is that only 0 degrees or 90 degrees, only those things will be done. So supposedly if you want to draw 10 mm this direction, I can give 10 mm like this, and in the top direction 10 mm I can give, and automatically 90 degrees is shown there. So directly 10 and enter. Then left side I'm dragging it and enter. Again bottom I'm coming here and clicking here and enter. I'm pressing enter, it is coming out of this. So it is moved. So this is how you can draw exactly straight lines in this. So if you want to have angular lines, then what we can do, instead of pressing ortho, we can press polar. As you can see, when I'm pressing polar, automatically ortho button goes to the off condition, because ortho and polar can't be simultaneously on. If one is on, other will be off, and the other one is on, the beginning will be off. So then we can select the line, and we can select this point somewhere here. As you can see, now the angle can be given. If you want to give the angle, what we'll do, we'll give the dimension first. Supposedly 15 mm, I'm giving the dimension first, then I'm pressing tab. When I'm pressing tab, it is coming to the angular thing. There we can give the 45 degrees I have given here. So with 45 degrees, with 15 mm line is drawn here. In this way, you can draw the angular lines. That is how you use the line command. So we will see a exercise on the line. Then we'll go to the next command. This is the exercise. So if you want to draw something like this, then what we can do, we can start at this point and we can give here, come up, then this side, then this side. In this way we can go. So let us draw it. So select the line command, then keep the first point somewhere here, or if you want to start from the origin, directly give 0, 0. Therefore the point has started from the origin somewhere at the bottom left corner. Then this side it is how much? It is 10 mm. Then after 10 mm is obtained, it is upside direction, that is in the 90 degrees 2. So in the 90 degrees it is 2. Therefore if you want 90 degrees, what you will do, ortho button on. This side it is 2 mm. Then to the left it is 2 mm. So left direction I'm keeping and 2, enter. Again to the top direction it is 3. So this is 3, enter. And to the left it is 2, enter. And here it is 2, enter. Then this side it is 2, enter. And coming to the down it is 2, enter. Then this side it is 2, enter. Then it is 3, enter. And this side it is 2, enter. And to the bottom, or we can press close, enter, like this. So this is how very simply you can draw it. If you want to move this one from one point to another point, then you can right click and use the pan option here and move it wherever we want. We can just move it here wherever we want. Whenever we want to come out of any command, we'll use escape. Escape means it is coming out of the command. Or moving, we can also use mouse wheel. The mouse wheel, you click on the mouse wheel and drag it wherever we want, you can place it. So as you can see, this is the thing. So this is a 10 mm line, this is 2 mm line, 2 mm line, 10 mm, 3 mm line, 2 mm, 2 mm. As you can see, all these straight lines are individual lines and not a single straight line. As you can see, these are all individual straight lines. So this is the use of the line command. Coming to the next concept, what is that? This one is construction line. So construction lines are basically used for reference purposes only. These are not the straight lines. These are something like infinity length lines, something like x-axis and y-axis in that way. So if you click on the construction line and draw something like this, escape, if I am escaping it, you can see even if I am zooming out and zooming in, it will be some infinite length straight line. It can be of any angle. Since the ortho button is on, it is like straight. So if I keep the polar option and if I go to the construction line and somewhere at this point I want to draw, I can draw infinite number of lines and of infinite number of lines. So these are basically the construction lines which are used for construction purposes only, something like reference lines we can say. That is about the construction line. Then coming to the polyline, by using the polyline, I'll draw the same diagram, then I'll talk about it. So I've used the polyline command. Also the shortcut is PL, enter. Then I'm selecting this point and this side it is 10 mm and to the top it is 2 mm, and this side it is like ortho button I'm pressing on, and this side it is 2 mm. Again to the front it is 3 mm, and this side it is 2 mm, and this side it is 2 mm, this side it is 2 mm, bottom it is 2, enter, and this side it is 2, enter, and bottom it is 3, enter, and this side it is 2, enter, and last I'm doing it connecting here. Escape. So I have escaped out of the command. So same diagram which I have used before, I have used the line and now I am using the polyline. So in this condition, just if I am pressing 1, every line is selected. So basically when you are using a polyline, what is happening is that individual line will be drawn instead one single line will be drawn instead of individual lines. So totally it is considered as single line only. So this one is basically very much important when you want to draw solids. So when you are drawing the solids, this one acts like a plane. So since it is a closed figure, it becomes like a plane, and that can be excluded. But if you want to draw straight lines, those things will be acting like lines. Lines should be merged together or joined together to become a plane. So now this one is a plane. Basically now we have a singular plane. So this, by using the polyline we can do this. So the command is polyline or also PL enter. So for easy understanding purposes, you can select the PL and this polyline here. And then the next one is polygon. So this is the polygon. So if I click on the polygon, then it is saying enter number of sides 4. It is by default it is something like 4. If we can increase it to n number of sides, whatever number of sides you want. If I want to draw a pentagon, then I'll press 5 enter. Then it is asking specify center of the polygon, or else you can see it in the command bar, specify center of the polygon, as well as it is also asking edge. So either we can give the center of the polygon or we can give the edge. Edge is basically the side of the polygon. So if you know the side of the polygon, then go for edge, that is E enter, we'll press it and we'll give the side. Or else if you know the center of the polygon and the inscribed in a circle or circumscribed in a circle, if you know the information, then we can use the inscribed in a circle or circumscribed in a circle and draw the diagram. Supposingly inscribed in a circle, I am giving something like 25 mm as the radius. And the diagram is obtained, but it is not showing. What we'll do, we'll zoom out or zoom in by using the mouse wheel. So that the diagram is obtained here. So this is first diagram by using the inscribed in a circle. Again I am using the polygon. Enter number of the sides is already 5, so 5 enter. I am giving the specified center of the gun here. Now I am using circumscribed above the circle and I am giving it same 25 mm. As you can see, there is a difference between the size. So whenever you are inscribed in a circle and circumscribed in a circle, the dimension also changes. So remember what you are drawing or know what you are drawing, then you can see. So if you are using inscribed in a circle, what happens is this, from the centroid to this corner point it will come. Whereas coming to the circumscribed about a circle, what happens, the in circle will be drawn. So therefore midpoint of the line to the centroid will be connected. So that is how it will be there. So the same pentagon, if you are using the edge value, say same 5 enter, and here you can see in the command prompt you can have edge in these square brackets, in that E is capital. So therefore if you press E and press enter, then we can give the edge size. Then it is asking, say it is asking like endpoint 1 and endpoint 2. So this is say some endpoint 1 and this is endpoint 2. The same 25 value I am giving here, 25 value. You can see the difference, right? So this is 25 mm side, 25 mm side, and this is inscribed in a circle with 25 mm radius. So if I draw a circle which is joining all these things, then it will be inscribed in a circle. Whereas coming to the circumscribed in a circle, that means the in circle is here. Along this in circle we are having this polygon. Therefore this is the highest side. So if you see the dimensions, you can easily understand it. So this one is small, which is having the side of 25 mm. This is having radius from this center point to this edge, the corner points is 25, whereas from the center point to the midpoint of the edge is 25 in here. So therefore this is the difference. So basically in maximum problems they'll be asking you this one. So therefore what you will do is that we can go for the polygon, supposingly say 6 sides, 6 center, and they'll give you like the edge value, that is the side value. For that sake we have to press E and press enter and give the side value, something like some 30 mm. So 30 mm. So here the side size is 30 mm here. So this is what is important to you. And if you want, you can go for the inscribed in a circle or inscribed in a circle, circumscribed in a circle, depending upon the question value. So that is about the polygon. Coming to the next question, next item, this is a rectangle. So if you click the rectangle, automatically the rectangle can be drawn with giving the two opposite corners. So if you click on the rectangle, first thing it will ask, specify the first corner point. If I can give something like the bottom left corner and top right corner can be given like this. So I can give the exact points. And in this case, if you select it, it is totally selected as 1 point only. And you can also observe that the midpoints are not highlighted here. So if you want to get the midpoints, you can't select this rectangle and draw. We should go for the polyline and draw. So if you want to go with without midpoints, then you can directly use this rectangle. So or else you can use directly the polyline. In the polyline you can draw like this by using this polyline, and we can have the rectangle. Once the rectangle is drawn, if you select it, you can see the difference between the polyline and line. This you can see here. This is also connected here like this. So next, if you want to get the midpoints, then you have to go for the line command, and from here to here like this, and individual lines are drawn here. After drawing the individual lines, then if you click on them, then you can click on them, you can see the midpoint being highlighted here. That means if you want to have the midpoints, then you can't go for the polyline or the rectangle commands. You have to go for the line commands. So only then you can get the midpoint. So if supposingly if you want to select the midpoints and draw some extensions, then you don't go for the polyline or rectangle. Then we should go for these things. So next one is arc command. When you click on the arc command, you can see that specify starting point of the arc, or also we have center. So whatever it is we can do. So I am selecting the specify first point of there. So this is the first point. Then it is asking specify second point of there. Somewhere here I am giving the second point of there. Then we can give the third point depending on the chord size. That is this length you can see here. The chord size whatever I am giving, the arc is changing here. So in this way we can give the 3-point arcs. Also we can have the another type of arc, that is select the arc. Specify instead of starting point of the arc we can give the center point of the arc. So C enter. So here this is the center. Then if I give the start point of the arc somewhere here I will start. And if I give the end point somewhere here, the center point to the starting point, from there to the ending point will be obtained. In this way you can have the arc like this. So this is another point. So this one will be starting center point, and this is my starting point, and from there up to this point I have done, that is the ending point. This is how we can get the center, starting point, ending point arc. Also we can have the another type of arc, that is first point, second point and third point. That is all the 3 points are on the arc itself. All the 3 points are in the arc itself. All the 3 points, this one first point, second point and third point, all the 3 points are there in the arc itself. Okay, that is how you draw the arcs. Depending upon your requirement you can draw the arcs. The next one is circle command. If you click on the circle command, then it will ask specify center point of the circle. Supposedly I am selecting some center point on the screen. Then by default it is showing the radius. So you can see the straight line in the circle, that is radius is being shown to you here. If you want some 30 mm, I will draw 30 mm plus. Same thing if the diameter is known to you, something like the same thing I am drawing here. If you want to give the diameter, that is 60 if you want to give, you can give that one also. But instead of directly giving 60, what we should do, we have to press, you see here in the square brackets, the D is highlighted there. So therefore I will press D and press enter, and I will give 60. And the radius, instead of radius I have given the diameter and drawn the same circle. So if you want to give the diameter, what we will do is that we will select the circle command and specify the center point. After that we will give the D and enter. You can see that the line is extended from the center point to the end point to the, it is extended furthermore, and half one more radius length, that is totally it is becoming a diameter length. So then if I give 60, the circle is finished like this. So that is about your stuff. And this one is revision cloud. If you give the revision cloud, it will be drawing some with arcs, it is creating a cloud type of arc. So this can be used in reference purposes. So it's generally not used in diagrams, so in our 2D diagram, so it's not necessary for you. I'm deleting it. If it is required, you can draw. Then we can have this spline. If you are having n number of dots and if you want to draw a smooth curve, then we can join all these things and then press double enter, triple enter. Then it is all joined by using a smooth curve like this. Smooth curve is being done. The same thing can be drawn in the another way also. If you want to get a smooth curve, we can get it to polylines also. For that, we'll select it and we'll draw separate like this. Polyline is drawn, and select the command called PE. That is nothing but poly edit, and press enter. So I'll select. It is asking select a polyline. So I'll select the polyline. After that, you have options. In these options, if I give the fit, the same type of spline type of thing is finished, right? So the same straight line, if you want to give some curvature shape, then we can use directly spline, or else we can use the polyline and then use the fit command. First we'll select the polyline command and we'll draw the polylines. Once the polyline is finished, then what we'll do is that we'll select the PE command, PE, and enter. Select the polyline, and then in that we have already 7, 8 options will be there. In that, fit is one option. If you click on the fit, then it is converted into a smooth curve. Then press enter, it will come out of this. So this is how you use the circle command and spline command. And then ellipse also is there. For drawing an ellipse, we'll have a major axis and minor axis. So by using the same thing, it will be drawn here. So this one is the major axis I have drawn. Then it is asking the height. If I give the height like this, the major axis and minor axis are given, then automatically the ellipse will be created. So basically our AutoCAD is asking us questions, we have to give the answers correctly, automatically the diagram will be executed. So if I am pressing an ellipse, then it is asking me a question like specify axis end point of the ellipse. So supposingly somewhere here it is there. From there to here, this is the major axis 120 mm line. So I have drawn the 120 mm. After that it is asking specify distance to the other axis. So this is the distance to the other axis. So this one is something like some 50 I am giving. So this is an ellipse created with 120 mm major axis and 100 mm minor axis. This is how it is created. In the same way, if you click on the ellipse, there is other options like arc and center also. Depending upon your requirement, you can start the end point or we can start from the center point and we can draw. So that is it. When we are talking about elliptical arc, in the elliptical arc what happens is that we can draw the arc of the ellipse. Like we can cut some section of the ellipse until from this point to this point is only required. So we have drawn an elliptical arc instead of a circular arc. So that is the elliptical arc option. So that is also is there with this. So these are the main commands for drawing something in the AutoCAD. Once these are drawn, we'll give the dimensions, we'll give the properties, we'll give the modifications for it. So these are all can be covered in the next class. So this is about your draw toolbar, and we have some more options like hatching and gradient and region, table and multi-line text. These are all will be covered in the next classes. So for now, what you'll do is that you go to the AutoCAD 2007 version and open the draw toolbar, and in the draw toolbar you have these all commands. So you practice one by one, automatically you'll get good information regarding them. So basically what you are doing is that we are selecting one command and it is asking us like this, then whatever it is asking, we'll give the information, then automatically the line will be executed. I am getting all straight lines here. For that, if you don't want to get straight lines, what I'll do, I'll go for the polar and rest this thing like will be done. If whenever you are typing or when you are entering a command, if the information is not shown on the screen, that is here you can see that specify next point is 6 degrees 64 point something, this is all shown here. If it is not shown, that means that here dynamic is off, that means dynamic input is off. So if supposedly in this condition it is there, even if I move my mouse, even though if it is in the condition something like it is in the command also, it is not showing anything. Reason is it is not in the dynamic mode. If the dynamic mode should be on like this, then you can see the values are again popping up. So this is how you should check those things. So basically these are the basic things which are there in the draw toolbar. They are line, construction line, polyline, polygon, rectangle, arc, circle, revision cloud, spline, ellipse, elliptical arc. So these are the basic draw commands which are there in the AutoCAD. So we'll see in the next class regarding the dimensioning, and in the next class we'll see for the modification, and also we'll see the properties toolbar. So in this class we have discussed about draw toolbar. Bye.